Homestead. I'm Grant. Today we're going to be doing some morning chores and milking the cow. So let's go. Right, here we are heading into the barn to do some morning chores.
Good morning and welcome. We're here doing morning let out with all the horses this morning. Grant, why don't you aim down there? This is the first aisle away. We got another aisle just on the other side, but we're going to start off with giving everyone grain. As you can see, they're all ready. If you look up on top of each horse stall, we have basically their name with feed instructions. So it'll show that this morning in the AM, they get 1.5 quarts, Alice does. So we're going to start going up and down and doing each individual feeding. And they always love this time of day every morning as you hear them start talking. Every horse has kind of their own regimen of what they want, what their owner wants. Some of them just get a basic sweet feed, and some have supplements mixed in with their grain. This one here had an injury, so it is getting some medicine. So we got to count out the tablets. And it's also getting a little bit of butte right now from the pain. And just because they're tablets, we're going to give them a little bit of water just to soften them up a little bit. So I'm just going to grab their existing water and just add a little bit in. Mix it around a little bit just so it soaks in. Someone stole their scoop. Here, get some alfalfa on top of their grain. This is actually Rachel's horse. So we add some alfalfa in with her as well. That is Yeshua. Alright, now we're going to head over to the second aisleway. Got a couple more horses over there. And like I said, some horses have some supplements that are all pre-packaged up by the owner. We just add those in as they require as well. right, then also we have Bessie, who's our milking cow, who will be milking here in a little bit. So usually while all the cows are having grain, there's Bessie. While all the cows are having grain, we'll get her stuff ready too. So when it's time, it's all set to go. So she gets some grain as well. So she's just got, we usually give her a couple. Oh, I actually already got most of it from the other day. I got her prepped. So she actually has all her grain and some of this over here, which is basically some pulp, beet pulp. So while we're waiting for that, we're gonna also grab some hay, because there's right now one horse that's basically just stuck in a paddock that doesn't have access to pasture. So we're gonna just grab some hay for that horse and go check it out in the feeder. So come for a walk. We try to have all these feeders. We used to do it where you throw hay just down on the ground and the horses end up stepping on it, peeing on it. It's just a waste. So we've got all the feeders set up so they're elevated. Any hay that falls out drops down to the buckets below and they're able to eat that out. We also have a feeder that's getting ready to go out for some round bales. As we're coming in the fall here, we're going to be pulling horses and cows off of pasture, and we'll be supplementing with round bales wherever we can. And then we have a couple paddocks that we'll do just with some of the small squares that we've basically harvested off our land as well. We do all our own hay here. Grant, if you can scan out, I don't know if they can see the pasture, and over down to the left over here. But here we have all paddocks as you go down this aisleway, and we can put anywhere from 1 to 4 horses in each individual paddock throughout the winter, and then out of there they have pasture that they have access to during the summer months. So that's kind of the brief overall layout. Now let's go and start grabbing some horses. Should be starting to be done finishing with their grain now. So over here we just kind of have a variety of halters that just any boarder can grab, use, just kind of loaner ones. Some of them all have their own specific ones too, but as you also see as you look down the aisleways, everyone has their kind of individual totes with some of their supplies that they use every time they come out. They also have we also have a tack room here with individual lockers that they have that they can store all their things in. And off of that, we also have a lounge for lounging. We got bathroom and couch in there, and in the winter they can sit out and watch. The parents can watch their kids or whatever from a heated area versus anywhere else. So we're getting out of the cold a little bit. So check, make sure they're done. this is something, a routine that we do every day. Horses go out during the day. And she's a little camera shy here this morning. Go out during the day, the stalls will be clean, bedded, hay, drained again, and they'll get brought back in the evening. Coming your way. And we'll grab one more at the same time.
Alright, we are ready to milk our cow, Bessie. She is a Jersey A2A2. What we're feeding her is our sweet feed, Producer's Pride, not sponsored. We have beet pulp in there that we also mix with her sweet feed. And then towels down here to wipe off her teats. So we got the sweet feed and beet pulp mixed together in there. So we like to get things situated before we let her in. So our milking bucket right here, we have stainless steel. You can get at a farm store. So, oh, look at her. She's already going straight for the food. But this is our stools that we can sit on. So when we milk, take that. So there is iodine. We spray it on her teats to get all the dirt and all that stuff. So yeah, it's an upward sprayer, so it sprays up. And then we use our towels to just wipe off her teats. There's Matt's invention of a tail thing that makes the tail so it doesn't swing at your face when you're milking. I've had problems with that. But yeah, I'll just start wiping off her teats. They look pretty dirty today.
And I usually finish with a clean one.
Yeah.
Try to get most of the stuff off with the first towel and then just get it in everywhere you can and around, and any of the loose stuff that's going to fall off into your bucket, just to make sure less garbage the better.
So yeah, there's udder balm. We just put it on there for. What do you put that on there for?
Just to basically help her be a little more comfortable. It's kind of like a lotion basically for her, so it just helps her teats, doesn't dry out, helps lubricate a little bit. But I just usually rub a little, kind of helps also simulate the calf. And then once I've rubbed it on, I'll just do a couple pulls on each teat. Why do we do that?
Well, that just makes sure to get all the other
You're not just dragging down like everyone thinks you are. You're actually kind of doing a squeeze down. You're not actually doing a pull down, you're squeezing down. So I typically just start grabbing these two, and I just start going in basically a rhythm. And Bessie is so used to this doesn't even bother. The only thing she does is once she gets done with her grain, she'll take a step forward, and that's about the only thing you really got to watch for. And as she shifts her weight a little bit, you can move the bucket around because it'll kind of change the direction where the milk wants to go naturally out of her teats, but we'll just kind of keep going through this whole thing. And as Grant said, the grain she's having today is just a 12% sweet feed from any, basically, you can find it in any of your local farm stores. Nothing special. And then we just mix in a little beet pulp too. And she doesn't like the beet pulp straight, so at least for ours, we need to kind of mix it around just by hand, give it a quick toss, and
All right, we are nearing to the end to let Bessie back to her calf. We have a little bit over a gallon, and in the next few days we are going to be leaving for vacation in Minnesota. So we don't have to milk her every day. That's what some people are confused about. You have to milk the cow every day, but when you let it with your calf, the calf will still milk on her, and then when you want to milk the cow and get a lot of milk, then you just separate her maybe a night before, and then in the morning you'll get that amount of milk. So Bessie. Now we're going to take her back to her calf. She is excited to go back. Nope. There's your calf, right over there. Yep, and now her calf is drinking on her.
All right, we're back inside the house here. We have our roughly, probably a little over a gallon or so of milk from our A2A2 Jersey, Bessie. So what I got here is just, these are some half-gallon ball mason jars. That's what we basically use for feeding our baby and our family. Since I said earlier, our child's still on bottles, we wanted to give him the best milk we could. So that's the A2A2 raw milk. We do not pasteurize it or anything like that. What we have here is basically just a basic strainer and a funnel. In this case, get a strainer that fits and locks onto your funnel the best you can so you have less chance of spilling. We'll set that just right onto the jar. And then these are just filters that you pick up from your kind of the dairy section of your farm supply store. This one happens to fit perfectly. I think they're 6.5-inch diameter if I remember right. But they fit just perfectly inside. You'll see they even kind of hold on to each other in the strainer. When you get the bucket, I like to kind of cradle it just to keep from spilling. Keep the handle out of the way, hold on to the funnel. And then we're going to just start slowly filtering through. Now, one thing I have learned is if you let your milk sit even for 20 minutes, half an hour before filtering, it will start to almost thicken and clog up your filter a lot faster. So just do it as soon as you get home, and it goes relatively fast, obviously, as you see here. So that's our first half gallon. Go right to the next one. And this just helps as we're doing hand milking, that we don't have you have the chance for a little piece of grass or dirt stuck to the bottom of the udder falling into the bucket. But this just helps filter all that out and makes it nice and clean. Probably can end up with just about exactly 1 gallon here, I think. Yep.
And actually, in pasteurized milk, there is more of a risk of salmonella.
So then the filter we just take, that goes into the garbage. And kind of as we mentioned earlier, is we don't milk our cow every day. We just milk it when we need. If I'm going to milk it, I'm going to milk her completely as much as possible to build up some inventory in our fridge, and we may not have to milk her for a couple days or 3 days because she's on the calf.
Yeah, which is really nice.
Yep. So a way that we have kind of organized our fridge at least is
pasteurizing destroys these helpful organisms, leaving the finished product devoid, and any protective mechanism is gone. So that's why when you have raw milk, you can have it sitting out and it just turns into like delicious things like cream cheese or sour cream, or you can make cheeses from them. And so like our conventional way is actually more harmful. Everyone's so scared of raw milk, and that's a lie. It's just kind of like our raw eggs. You do not need to refrigerate them because we don't wash them. So when you wash them, you again take off that protective mechanism around the egg, and then that's why they spoil. So we don't even refrigerate our raw eggs. We just keep them on the shelf because we don't wash them. If you wash them, you again take off the protective mechanism. And there's so many more benefits to raw milk. What am I missing, honey? I know if you wash, you use raw milk in your mouth to swish it around, it gets rid of cavities. Our son James, he was having like a rash over his whole body, like eczema, and once we switched to raw milk, it completely went away. The kids, if you have pink eye, you can put that in their eye and it gets rid of pink eye. So, I mean, what else are you?
Taste.
Oh, yeah, taste.
Taste is 10 times better than any of that stuff you buy in the store.
Yeah.
You know, even just getting the cream off the top.
Oh, that's like butter. And you can make butter. Yeah. And, I mean, especially when you grass feed, which we do, like the conventional farmers are basically, they tax the land so much that it's hard for the farmer to get the cows out on pasture. So then in return they feed them corn, and then they get diseases and mastitis. And if you talk to some of the people where they're trying to genetically alter some of the cows so they don't get mastitis, but really what they're saying is they want to be able to treat the cow worse off, because if a cow is in a healthy environment, they're not going to get mastitis. So they're just thinking of more high production. Same with A2 cows. Most of like Jerseys and Guernseys are, goats are, sheep are, but if you have an A1, it's mutated. So the gene mutated and is not healthy for your body, and it's harder for you to absorb it. And just do your diligence and just research raw milk. And like I said, recommend Sally Fallon. She's super good at raw milk knowledge. And like I said, we have many testimonies about it. It's amazing.
Well, one more thing I would add is we also use the Instant Pot to make yogurt with it.
Yeah.
Very simple and easy. You dump in some of the milk, and basically the machine almost does the rest. But homemade, there's nothing better
there's
than
a yogurt
homemade yogurt.
Yeah, homemade yogurt is awesome. Really, really awesome. And we can do another video on that another time. But I think there was just a lawsuit about some of the conventional yogurts in the store. They were proving that it wasn't even yogurt. Because when you use yogurt, if you look at yogurt, it's pasteurized milk, and then they make yogurt out of it. Well, they've already killed all of the nutrients in the milk anyway.
Probiotics.
Yeah. So, yeah.
It's healthy. Yeah, very healthy for you with all the probiotics of actual homemade yogurt versus the stuff you buy in the store, which is just artificial flavoring, a bunch of sugar, and no probiotics for you.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.
Thanks for hanging out with us today.
Oh, that would have been good if you got it right with their tongue in her nose.
I did. I'm videoing right now.